Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This weekend, everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news of an expansion and the inevitable retaliations in the Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, Yemen flashpoints that are now having an impact on global oil prices. We're also casting a pall over global sentiment as fears mount for an even wider conflict. The shift towards safe haven currencies has hurt the New Zealand dollar. But first, the overnight dairy auction brought a 1.2% rise in US dollar terms on the back of a 3% rise in whole milk powder prices. There were good gains for cheddar cheese as well. But most other products fell. In New Zealand dollar terms, overall prices actually slipped 0.3%. Volumes sold were good. In the US, their retail impulse bounced back last week to be 5.3% higher than the same week a year ago. And the September ISM factory PMI is still contracting slightly, little change from August. The dock workers' strike isn't helping sentiment by American manufacturers. The S&P Global Market PMI for the US was more negative. Both reports report lower new order levels. And job openings in the US rose in August from July, and those July levels were quite low. But even though the rise was more than expected, they're still on an easing trend, one that started in early 2022. Their quit rate, though, fell. And China is now on holiday and will be for the next week. Eurozone inflation fell quite quickly in September to just 1.8%, its lowest since April 2021. Mostly this was driven by sharply lower energy costs. And globally, the market for corporate bond debt rose sharply in September. Bloomberg is reporting that more than 1,200 issuers sold more than $600 billion of bonds in the month, the most since these records began 20 years ago. The rush seems to have been driven by lower interest rates and rising uncertainty, including that of the US presidential election. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 3.75% and down 3 basis points from yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $2,670 an ounce and up $32 from yesterday, a new high. And oil prices are up $2.50 at just over $71 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just over $74.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 62.8 US cents and down almost a cent from this time yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're down 40 basis points at 91.4 Australian cents. Against the euro, we've fallen 30 basis points at 56.8 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just over 70.2 and down 70 basis points from yesterday. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.